it's this interesting dance where you feel like you're in communication with the spirit of ayahuasca, which is really the spirit of the earth, of Mother Nature herself. And she's the loving grandmother that's there to heal you and show you a way.
It's Jordan Mulligan from the Mulliganbrothers, and today's interview highlight is with Aubrey Marcus, talking about a higher realm of consciousness through the medium of ayahuasca, something that has been so interesting to me. Today's video is sponsored by audible.com, where you can get a free audiobook linked down below. There's many books on spirituality, ayahuasca. It's all linked down below. You can get a free copy of any book through that link. And it is also sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can buy the Hardest Worker in the Room t-shirts, the journals, and so much more. But before that, why don't we jump into something extremely interesting? Aubrey Marcus talking about his journey with ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca is one of the most powerful psychedelics in the world, and it combines the vine, which is actually ayahuasca, where ayahuasca gets its name, with the leaf, which is usually chacruna or opayaje or wambisa, a DMT-containing leaf. And the vine makes the DMT orally active in the body, because if you just eat a bunch of those leaves or make a tea out of them, you won't have any psychedelic effect. But combined with the vine, you have a very potent psychedelic effect that lasts for 6 hours. And it gives you access to undeniably another realm of consciousness. It feels like another dimensional reality. And you have visions and you see things about your own life. You get encounters with beings or spaceships or whatever might convey the information that you need to heal and transform often comes through. And every journey is different. Sometimes you don't see any visions. Sometimes it's more physical and it's just the purge that comes out of your body, energy that you're releasing through vomit or through, the other direction, or sometimes both at the same time. They call that affectionately double platinum, when you're purging out of both ends at the same time, which I make fun of, but it happens to me frequently. But it's this interesting dance where you feel like you're in communication with the spirit of ayahuasca, which is really the spirit of the earth, of Mother Nature herself. And she's the loving grandmother that's there to heal you and show you a way.
Is there a way to touch on that similar kind of energy for someone who's not willing to go into the realm of ayahuasca, like through other different ways, like meditation, or is there another way of doing it?
Absolutely, ayahuasca is not for everybody. Just because it's my path and it's one of the ways that I was able to learn about myself, transform and grow, this is not a recommendation. I never want to be there saying I recommend psychedelics to anyone in particular. I'm just talking about my experiences, and my experiences were very profound and very important. But it's a personal calling. It's a very personal process, and it is only one way. There are many ways. I think something that I can universally recommend is breathwork and ecstatic dance. Those two things, I think, if you're actually able to go deep enough into both of those pathways, you can find massively transformative, transcendent experiences from both of those. You just have to take them to the level of depth that allows you to access, the healing that you really need. Meditation is something that I think people love throwing it around. It's like everybody talks about meditation, but very few people actually really do it. And I was like one of those people. I was like, yeah, meditation. But how much was I meditating? Not much, a little bit here or there. It's difficult. It's a more challenging process, and I've learned the ways that really work for me. Meditation in my life is less about transformation and more about allowing my body to really rest and allowing my mind and everything to come to a greater stillness and a greater integration. But if you're talking transformation, to me, it's breath work and ecstatic dance.
I love that, the foundation, to have such a confidence that it provides is amazing. So then I wanted to move into, and we spoke about the ayahuasca journey. Was that the beginning of your spiritual awareness or your spiritual journey, or was that just an addition to it?
The beginning of my spiritual journey was, again, when I started as that angry atheist, materialist, reductionist, and then felt my body evaporate and had that moment of, oh shit, there's something else here. And I've studied religion and philosophy and tried to learn the best from all of these different schools of thought and lineages. But really, my own journey has been experiential. If I can't feel it, then it's not real to me. Like, I could listen to somebody talk about God for as long as they want, but until I've felt what God feels like in my whole body, I don't believe in God. So if somebody asks me, do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. I know God. I know it. You don't have, and I don't want you to believe me either. Like, go find out for yourself. You know, like, you don't take my word for anything, but you can go find it, and you can find a place where you know, and nobody can take that from you, because it's not built on words, and it's not built on an idea. It's built on gnosis, which is the Greek word for the consumption and the entire enmeshment with that knowledge. It's like the difference between someone telling you about an avocado and saying, yeah, it's green and mushy, and then you having guacamole, and you're like, oh, I get it. I fucking get it. I know an avocado now.
I love that analogy. You know, when you was the younger man on the come up, before the awakening, would you identify with the typical like entrepreneur, the young men that we see today who are just, I don't want to use the word selfish, but like going forward without that spiritual balance, and it's more a case of like trying to just not get these points and knock them off the list. Would you have identified with that? I don't know if you did, but if you did, or even if you don't, what advice do you give to those young men in time to tap into that spirituality?
When you're thinking about like what you really want, what your goals are, again, it goes back to the question of, well, why do you want that? Why do you really want that? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to achieve all of these goals? And really like be patient with that question and understand that all of the things are fine. Like, we don't have to have shame about all of these things we're told to have shame. Do you want pleasure from this? Okay, great. Of course you want pleasure. Of course. Don't lie. Like, of course you want pleasure. And did I want pleasure? Fuck yeah, I did. I wanted pleasure. I wanted access to pleasure, pleasurable things, pleasurable experiences. Did I want power? Yeah, I did. And for two reasons. One, my ego wanted power because I wanted to think I was better than other people. Of course it did. That's what the ego does. It only knows itself in comparison. But also, did I want the power for, instead of the power over, the power for helping other people? Did William Wallace want power? Yes, of course he did. Of course, for Scotland. You know, that's why he wanted, like, these things that have been shamed, they don't need to be shamed because they're true. And when we shame them, we put them in the shadows. So really looking at what you want and why, and being honest, is really, really important. I wish I would have been able to do that a little bit more clearly then. And in the recent studies that I've been studying deep in the Hebraic wisdom traditions, all the way from the Temple of Solomon, Rabbi Mordecai Leiner, all the way down to modern teachers. They call this the process of berur, B-E-R-U-R, berur, and it's the clarification of desire. It's understanding, what do you really want, and why do you want it, and who is the you that wants it, you know? And that's like, that I think is the key question that we aren't asking, and we aren't answering honestly. And I think that's also a big deal. We got to ask the question honestly, and we got to answer it honestly, because we'll like to tell ourselves, oh, I just want to help people. I want to help my family. Yeah, and you want pleasure, you want power, you want purpose, you want, you know, there's a lot of other things you want. Like, be honest, it's okay. It's like, we're all the same, you know, we all feel that. And if you deny that, you're probably full of shit.
Ayahuasca, for me, or higher realm of consciousness, let's just touch on that, higher realm of consciousness, is something that I think we should all experience at some point. And I think you can, it doesn't have to be through ayahuasca. This is the thing that Aubrey Marcus talks about. It doesn't have to be through ayahuasca. It's just very interesting to hear it from that perspective. But also you can reach it through breathing techniques, meditation. There's loads of different ways of doing it. And for me, it's something this year that I'm going to try and experience. I'm not going to do it through ayahuasca. I'll probably try and do it through a breathing technique or something like that. But it's something that's so interesting to me, and to have that that death of an ego almost happen would be really, really awakening. I think it'd be great for us. I think it's something I'd probably struggle with, but I think we all should try it at some point. If you want to follow Aubrey Marcus and more resources from him, go to his Instagram. It's a great place to find his stuff. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Jordan Mulliganbrother and see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. It's very interesting, I swear. Today's video was sponsored by Audible.com, where you can pick up loads of different books, spirituality books. Some of my favorite books are autobiographies, so like Shoe Dog, The Origins of How Nike Started, is one of my favorite audiobooks that I've used from Audible.com. I've listened to it twice now. If you use the link down below, you get a free audiobook with that link. And also, it was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, which literally means that we can fly to Texas to go film these projects with my film crew, just by your support. So thank you very much. Hit the join button, hit the like, comment, subscribe, all those kind of things for the algorithm. Have a blessed and productive day. Go inspire some change, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.